Hi. I've got a lot to talk about, so I think I'm going to make the video maybe twice as long as it normally is, just to sort of cover everything. Basically, I guess I'll start a month ago. James and I went to his aunt and uncle's house. This is James's father's brother and his wife. We met their daughter Charlotte, who's James's cousin, at the train station, and rode on the train about an hour north of where I live. To a place called Paraparam. We get off at that train station, and Uncle Tim picks us up, and we ride out to meet him and his wife Jo for lunch on their property at their house. It's sort of out in the country, kind of. It's kind of like the ideal setting for a country home. Like, if you ever bought property outside of the city, you'd want it to look like this place. The house itself is very sort of open and big windows, and it's sort of old school in the way it's decorated, so it's very, very cool. Okay, so we got a little tour of the property, right? And first I'll tell you, it was absolutely beautiful outside. It was perfect weather. And their property is beautiful, so that sort of like added to the whole sort of spectacle, I guess. Anyway, we saw some fruit trees that they had, oranges and I think lemons. We also saw something on their property called a killing shed, which is named appropriately. They literally used to do sort of home slaughterings inside this little building, so you don't have to go to town. I mean, what a pain. There's a hook, and you hang the sheep upside down, and you give it a few good punches, and all the tasty bits of meat fall out. That's how I understand it works, anyway. We also saw these gigantic metal balls. They are giant hollow metal floats, and there would be a bunch of them strung out with a net in between them in the water to keep submarines out of a bay or something like that, basically. So the net would hang down, and submarines would say, "Can I come in?" And they would say, "No, you can't come in." Sorry. So after we got a little tour, we went back to the house and ate lunch. We basically just sat in their sunlit patio area and had this amazing meal and sort of chatted for a couple of hours. It was such a cool day. And for dessert, we had this square of passion fruit ice cream, not ice cream, passion fruit ice cream, as well as passion fruit ice cream. It was delicious. Anyway, passion fruit ice cream. That was very, very tasty, and that was topped with a large slice of pineapple, and an actual passion fruit on top of that. After maybe a half an hour or so, just after we had all finished, Aunt Jo asked if anybody wanted coffee or tea, and then she brought out this tray of homemade truffles, chocolate truffles rather. They were very good. After we'd been there for a couple hours and the sun was getting close to starting to sort of set, Tim drove us back to the train station, and we rode the train back with Charlotte and went home. It was a very, very nice day. There's a few other things that have happened in the last month. There was a couple of sort of new developments in the sort of living situation. We got our first big energy bill. And to put it mildly, that sucked. Bills kind of blow. For all you people out there that pay your bills, I'm sure you agree with me. They just suck. So we got this bill, and it was like more than twice the two previous bills. That was a sort of a wake-up call. And James and I have since made some changes around the house. We've learned to not use the dryer. We've decided to turn the heat pump in the living room on only when it's like absolutely necessary. Otherwise, we just bundle up, There's a lot of changes we've made, but I think they're for the better. You sort of get smart about that type of thing after the bill comes the first time. Another sort of development, my cell phone. It is a pay-as-you-go little sort of cheapy cell phone that I bought here because I needed a phone number here, So right, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after I arrived, I went into the phone store all determined, paid $150, and got on their sort of pay-as-you-go plan. Anyway, so my phone wasn't charging the plug. Um, and I took it into the store thinking they would just give me a new one because this is like the cheapest phone they have. I figured they just like, oh yeah, we have it in back stock. You can have 12. Do you need 12? You can have 12. So I would just say, no, just one, and I'd pick the best one and go. But instead, we spent probably 20 minutes filling out paperwork, and they said my charger had a 6-month warranty. And I said, okay, can't you just give me a new one? And they said, no, we have to send it in. So they took my charger, after this paperwork was filled out, they took my charger and bundled it up and sent it away to some factory where they were going to test if it either was or was not broken. And the lady that was helping me, she was very nice, and she says, I just want to warn you, I warn people ahead of time that if they find any water damage or, like it's been broken or shaken or something like that, because there's like an indicator inside or something, if they find dampness or water damage or anything like that, not only do they not replace my charger, but they'll charge me $55 for having gone through the trouble. So I have to pay $55 and buy a new charger. And I said, what? Are you for real? Okay, fine. So when I was in the store, my thought process was, I want to do this for free, and I'm positive that there's no water damage or anything. This thing hasn't worked since I bought it. This is my charger, not my cell phone, right? Like I'm aware of all these policies when it comes to a cell phone. They've got that little thing inside that turns, bright pink or whatever, if it's been dunked in a glass of water or flushed, or if you charge it in the shower or whatever. So I'm aware of all this with cell phones, but when it comes to my charger, I thought they were just going to give me a new one. So I was like, fine, so I signed their contract or whatever, and sent it off. And I realized after the fact that I should have just bought a new one. And when I got home later, I realized that this USB cord that came with the phone also charges it. So I could have just charged it on the computer. So it was quite a ridiculous situation. But I got it back. They didn't charge me. So I've got 2 chargers now. To my last and most interesting and exciting point. I've spent the last, probably before this week, I spent probably a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, just going in random places and seeing and asking who was hiring, handing out my CV. CV is New Zealand talk for resume. So I would just literally hand it to anybody that would take it, basically. Another thing I would do, I would get on the job websites, and if there was anything that was sort of applicable, for the Wellington area, like wait staff or retail or whatever, I would submit my stuff electronically and then go in the next day, dressed to the nines, suit and tie and the whole works, and hand in my stuff in person. So hopefully sort of, because it's really easy to ignore an email, basically. I found out the hard way, So after about a week and a half or 2 weeks, I finally got a job. I got a job. I got a job. I got a job. I got a job. Now, it's only part-time, and the pay is low, and it's almost on call, more so than it is sort of consistent hours.
Andrew has just told me that last statement is not true at all. He's already worked nearly 35 hours. What a party. He still can't afford anything except rent. But, no matter. Andrew hasn't any friends. I killed them all, oh my. Perhaps you did not need to know that.
But it's still a job. I'm still going to be earning money. And that's a good thing. I'm kind of on, like I said, I'm kind of on call for this semi-wait staff type thing at this hotel that's near the airport. It's called the Brentwood Hotel. Potential boss called me back and officially offered me the job. It's sort of this big weight off, having secured at least one job for now. I think I'm going to have to get another one to be able to pay all the bills and rent and everything, but that's okay. Do what you got to do, right? But it's been a good month. And in the end, it was good. James's parents arrive Wednesday this week,
They are already here.
which is very exciting. And my father, very excited too, is coming 2 weeks after that. So we got a lot of fun to look forward to in October. So that'll be awesome. Kate, I hope you feel better. I'm sorry you've been sick all this time. I miss you all. And Kate, I'll talk to you very soon, as well, you know. Love you, bye. I got a job, 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 I got a job.